number one funky game of the year.
Turn that volume up.
Turn it up.
Oh, boy.
Turn it up. Every nugget is good.
Every nugget is good.
Every nugget is good.
Put that in my veins.
Put it in my veins. Guys, can somebody help me with the math? I'm not great at like these big numbers. Nuggets, was it 31-point win?
I don't know.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. It was not a little. It was a lot.
It was a lot of win.
Big win.
Welcome in everybody to the Winners Lounge. Oh my God, it feels good to be in the Winners Lounge. This is the most comfortable Winners Lounge I've ever been.
Welcome to Cloud 9, I would say. This is literally as good as life ever feels. It doesn't matter. The best day of your life never feels better than it does right now.
It's kind of true, man.
I know.
It's like I've honestly transcended time and space because it does not feel at all like a Tuesday. It does not. I mean, nothing feels. It just feels like I'm in, like you said, Cloud 9. Incredible Winners Lounge, and I've got an all-star cast to join me. I've got the handsome one with Harrison Wynn.
I got one thing to say, guys.
Oh, no.
The vibes.
The vibes.
Are immaculate.
Immaculate. We might be coming in hot. I'm coming in hot today, guys. I'm just warning you right now. I'm coming in hot all show. I've got some takes to fire
We've
off.
earned some heat.
We have. I've got over here Superstar Dev Superstar Johnson.
It just doesn't sound so good, but you know what did sound good? Before the game,
Oh, no.
they asked Harrison. They said, "Hey, how are you the vibes?" He was like, "I'm comfortable. I think that this is a good one. This is a good feel today." No one else was feeling it. Harrison was feeling it, and we're back.
Don't get too excited, though. We are going to talk about some bets you told everybody.
We'll talk about it.
And then on the far end over here, the man who had the day off, but you know what? F it. Why would you be anywhere else, even on your day off?
Like I'm not supposed to be on the show tonight. If I suck, you just whatever. Like this doesn't count. So I came just to watch the game, and then the game was so good. I had a beer. I had a beer downstairs. I might get a little loose. Let's see what happens.
I think you might, guys. So of course the story. I mean, the Denver Nuggets. We all counted them out. And we didn't count them out. We said, like, obviously, I think the Bucks are going to win. Second night of back-to-back, no expectations, and I think that's fair. But the Nuggets, man, they do this sometimes. This resilient team where it's like, you know what? We're not supposed to win. Why don't we mess around and win tonight and just go out and do it? And it wasn't just that they won. It wasn't just that they got the Bucks. It's that they looked like what we want them to look like. Jamal Murray remains on fire. Nikola Jokic. I mean, we were comparing him to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Larry Bird, and Wilt
The new
Chamberlain
meme
tonight.
Apt
sweeping the internet.
comparisons, in my opinion.
All apt comparisons. I don't even know where we want to start, Dev.
This one was a tough one. There were so many positives like to go off of.
Yeah.
I think that the takeaway of the game is the execution. Like the Nuggets came in with the game plan of how they were going to like guard Giannis tonight. It did not start out the way that they wanted to, and that's when they brought out their secret weapon, and then they brought out like a strategy that clearly works. And that's a way that you're going to beat Giannis and the Bucks because that's how they're played in the playoffs. So execution, and also everyone stepped up. That's what the difference in the game was.
And when you say everybody stepped up, I would almost put it another way. I feel like basketball is like a flow sport, and that minute by minute, but it's also game by game.
Yep.
And the Nuggets are in a flow right now where guys all seem to understand what they're supposed to be doing.
This is the point. This is why it's not appropriate to freak out after one game because we are part of a larger storyline. And
But
there are
to be
trends-
fair, it's also, but I disagree with this in one way. You're right, the pragmatic part of you. We try to be both.
Oh,
but what's the point of being a fan if we can't be like riding this?
No,
like,
no. I'm not. No, we should ride this. I'm saying like
And
when
then you
people
ride
get
the lows,
upset,
too. It's like,
when people get super upset about small. But we are trending upwards.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we are surfing
We are.
right now. Yes. Listen, we need
You are
the Denver
definitely
Nuggets.
trending upwards.
Absolutely.
You didn't even want to come in on your days on like 3 weeks ago.
This guy hasn't taken a vacation in 10 years.
That's
Like,
actually a
of
good
course
point.
he's
That's a
gonna
good
come in. To your point, everybody played their role tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody played their role. And, of course, Nikola had a great game. Jamal, another 20-plus point game. Mike hit big shots. Will Barton played a good game. But the contribution they got from Vlatko Cancar tonight.
Oh, man. We got to talk about
He
him.
was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Like, from what you expect from him and what he gave them tonight, just an incredible night for him. PJ had a big night as well. I mean, 19 points. Jesus.
Yeah.
For PJ.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was big.
Dude,
Yeah.
MJ Dozier.
MJ
But
Dozier.
to your point, I want to say something about Vlatko. I said this on the pregame show. I said this on the Locked On Nuggets podcast after I rewatched the game. I'm going to say it now because I don't like being wrong. And last postgame show, instant reaction, and I was pretty hard on Vlatko. When I went back and rewatched the game last game, I was like, he actually did a lot of good stuff. The team struggled when he was on the court. Guys hit shots in his face, but I thought his defense was actually very impressive. And what was really impressive about it when I went back and rewatched was when you're on the shelf for as long as he's been, and you have to go in, being low mistake is like the hardest thing to do because the game pace, you're not used to it, and you're rolling this or that. And he made like so few mistakes, and he hustled and he played hard. And tonight, the plus minus aspect of that caught up to what I thought was how he played that last game. So 2 games in a row, I have to take the L on last game because I was hard on him and I actually thought he was good. This game, he was good and the numbers bared it out.
Well, I might as well ride the wave. Sorry to cut you off. I might as well ride the wave.
What is this? 2 shots?
This is wow. In that
Tuesday, guys.
In that
Two-shot Tuesday.
presser,
2-shot Tuesday.
in that
better been
presser
a
last night,
$50.
we talked about it, Adam, and I was not low on Vlatko last night. I was like, he did the right things that you wanted him to do. He answers things that they don't have right now, like having the size and the body and a physical player that could defend in the post. That's what they really needed for him. And I feel like they just threw him out there last night to see, like, can we use him against Giannis tomorrow? Or, like, how are we going to be able to use him? And he proved that he could be out there for some minutes and he could
I think that's dead
contribute in a lot of different ways. Yeah, it looked like he wasn't playing, like, exceptionally well because they were scoring every single time down. But he also, like, he stuck to the game plan and did what he had to do, and that's why I was not so, like, low on him.
Yeah.
It's a great point.
Dev hit on the thing that stuck out to me about Vlatko last night and tonight the most. You just can't move him in the post.
Dude, he is a hoss.
And look,
man.
I mean, that's no surprise. We know how jacked this guy is. We know how much he's in the weight room, but you can't move him in the post.
Yeah.
He stands his ground a ton. So
does Rocky
that's what
make you
stood out
stronger?
to me, 2 nights in a row.
Do you feel stronger?
Yeah, no, I definitely know that it makes me stronger. Like,
Like Popeye with spinach?
I guess speaking
Yeah.
of which, guys, I guess speaking of which,
We've got a fun super chat here. Vlatko drives to the rim with the confidence Kyrie Irving has against third stringers in garbage.
to Vlatko.
to Vlatko.
Vlatko.
That's a real punishment.
Did you do
Vlatko
both?
drives
Did
to
you
the
guys
rim
do
with
both?
PJ Dozier confidence.
No, I gotta split up shots, dude. That's Tuesday.
I agree. I saw. Okay, sorry.
It's Tuesday, man.
I don't want to. I just thought you
appreciate
did.
the love, but we got to keep it moving. Let's just go straight to Jokic, though, guys, because I mean, honestly, like Jamal Murray was great in this one. There's so many guys that were great. Jokic, ever many games we're into the season? The craziest stat, I tweeted this out. Carmelo at his apex in Denver, the highest scoring year, I believe, was the 2010 9-10 season. He had 11 35-point games that year. Jokic now has 11, and we have one more game before we're at the halfway point. Like, he's on pace for 22 35-point games. Guys, I think scoring is Jokic's third best skill stat. Assists are number 1. Rebounds are number 2. Scoring's number 3. And here he is being better than the guy we argue is either the number 1 or 2 scorer in
I think you got to
Nuggets history.
amend that list, though. I think that's like last year's list. Like, he's incredible at scoring.
First of all, he's not the greatest scoring center ever. He's the greatest passing center ever. So I'm not going to amend the list that.
But he might be a
number 1.
better scorer than he is passer. That's the crazy.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Come on. He's the greatest passer
Have you ever
or
seen
as
a
a
touch?
center ever. He is not the greatest scorer
Have you ever
as a
seen a
center
touch
ever.
like Jokic has, though, in any other player?
Either we're arguing semantics here. My point is that he is assists are what his bread
I know
and
what
butter
you
are, and yet here he is that scoring is also among the best Nuggets of all time, and he's 26. I mean, tonight to have 37 points on 23 shots, to go 2 of 3 from the 3-point line, and by the way, also add 10 rebounds and 11 assists, 2 steals. I don't know. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like I'm higher on Jokic than anyone else on earth, and I'm like, I just keep underselling this dude to myself.
Yeah. My favorite thing to do right now is to listen to opposing coaches in the pregame press conference answer questions about how they're going to stop Jokic because they'll get asked a question and you can just hear it in their voice. They start talking about Jokic. You're like, whoa, he's an amazing scorer. And, so maybe we'll try to take that away. But he can also pass the ball. He's the best passing big man of all time.
God.
And you could just hear how defeated they get while they're answering this question. And it's just so true because you can't stop him. You absolutely cannot stop him. And when he's playing with the mindset that he's playing with this season, there's nobody I'd take over Jokic right now in the entire league. I mean, he is so freaking dominant, night in, night out, and he brings it every single night from the jump. It's unbelievable, man.
He has a mean streak to him with the scoring tonight. Like, he honestly is, this is the first time, this season that is, the first time where he's wanted to, I don't think he actually wants to humiliate guys, but when there's a guy that can't guard him, he's just like, we're not doing anything else until I'm going to score 20 straight points unless they change up on him. And it's like, he hasn't been that way in the past.
He got pissed off tonight. What was that call he got pissed off at? The travel. It was the travel.
Oh, yeah.
It was that terrible travel call. He got pissed off at that moment and just went berserk.
That was like the fourth possession of the game.
Right. But I kind of saw him flip the switch right there.
Right.
And then last night, it was the technical, and it's just like, this dude's unreal.
While Harrison loves the pregame, like talking about, like how to slow him down, I think mine's is the postgame. Like, you guys gave him a different look. Why did he go off the way that he does? And opposing players and teams, like coaches, they're just like, I have no idea. Like, we gave him our best look. Yeah. He really he broke it down and did whatever he wants. But the difference with Jokic is like the mindset this year. It's like, I know I am the best player in the league. And also he's finding small things. They always talk about like all of the best players in history finding something mentally, like to get them over the edge or to find some type of advantage mentally. And he's finding it with calls on the ref, which is completely different than what he's ever been in life. Because every single time we like the discussion around him was when he gets mad at the ref, he does a dumb foul or he does something like that. Now he's like, oh, so you want to call that? Now I'm going to dominate.
Watch
this
me
guy.
score on 5 straight possessions.
Since you did that, he's taking it as motivation, and that's the scariest thing for anyone because it's like, let's just be nice to the guy the entire time. Like, but now he's taking it to the ref. Yeah, like there's nothing you can do, and also we already know that he gets all of the scratches on his arms and everything. He takes everything personal, and that type of pettiness is going to make you become the best player in the league, which he's playing like right now.
Kobe White had it after the game where somebody asked him about it, and you saw the wheels turning in his head as he's like, you send a double, but they don't pass, and if you want to,
exactly
and then he kind of goes, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how you stop.
I watched that clip no less than 100 times today.
Because you see the realization wash over him. He's like, dude, I don't know. Like,
and I just like how he talks.
I hate that you liked that clip.
You hate that we liked it.
Team has a guy who can dunk. What's it say? Any team. I say. There's a guy who dunks when he's bored. He's one of the most skilled NBA players of all time. I'm only saying that, Kel, because when I rewatch the show, I can never hear you on the thing. So I'm like, I was like reading this. He's like, I mean, it's true. He is one of the most skilled and also uniquely skilled, and that skill extends to the intangible aspects of it. Like, how many players? And I hate when people get into the Jokic Embiid thing, but one thing that I think is 100% true about Jokic compared to any of these other scorers is Jokic can score 35 points a lot. Yep. If that's what he was about.
If he wants to.
He's at this because now he's capable of doing it only when necessary, and he just does it like 98% of the time when it's necessary. He does it now.
Adam, ever since I've known you, like all we've done is talk about like what Jokic could be. Like that was one of the like first conversations we ever had, and it's just so crazy. It's just like so satisfying. We talk about this word
hot box and hot takes
all the time. Is like just watching this little plant that we planted grow into what we envisioned it could be. And like people said it couldn't happen this whole time, that Jokic like was slow or fat or whatever, like all of these reasons why Jokic was not going to be the player we knew that he could be. And for him to just now come out and make it so unbelievably undeniable, like the conversations are over. It's not like, is Jokic good? It's literally, is Jokic the best player in the world?
Yeah. It's honestly a legitimate question. I know that's kind of crazy to say, and you can never like know this definitively. Like LeBron was, every year LeBron has been here, people have said he's not the best player, or argued this or that. Like, they'll never be definitive, but I'm sorry, he gets to be in that conversation because of how dominant he is, how much everybody game plans for him, and it just doesn't matter. And you were talking, Dev, earlier about how he's got a counter for everything. Here's what I love about how he scores. Half of them are like good defense, he makes a really tough shot. Half of them are he makes a great move, and you're just like, man, he burned me. And then the other half of them are where he just like kind of walks you to a spot, and the defense doesn't even know what he's doing, and all of a sudden he has a jump hook, and you're just like, how the hell did this happen? Like, how did he just walk me to the spot? Like, they don't even realize it till they're dead. And
it's because he plays so much different than any other player in the league, and nobody's seen anything like him. So you've never seen a guy do what he does.
It really is like playing chess, where you get put in checkmate and you didn't see it coming, and then someone's like checkmate, and you're like, no, it's not. Oh shit! Yeah, you do have. Oh man, like I didn't even see that. That's how he posts guys up sometimes, where guys are like, "Oh, I'm doing great right now." Oh God! Like he just. That's exactly what he was trying to do.
The analogy is you brought the chess like piece up. Usually like with LeBron James, like he takes a full quarter to like assess how the defense is gonna play him and things, and then he determines how he's gonna attack all the time, especially in the finals. Jokic does it on that first play.
Yep.
And it's like now teams are trying to throw him off and give him different looks, but he does it on the first play. They do the exact same play, and he like reads how the defense is going to step up or if they're going to step back, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he reads it, and now the entire game he decides, okay, that's what I'm going to do every single time. And that's just like really a genius at work, and it's art in itself. Like it's wild to see.
It is art, man. It's art.
It's because he can do everything. Not everybody has the toolbox that Jokic has to work with. Like, not everybody can just be like, oh, all right, I guess I'll just shoot a three. Oh, okay, I'll just walk this person down, this NBA player down as far as I want to, and then just dunk, and they can't stop.
He is like Picasso, you know. Like where, what I mean is like he understands.
Small in Spanish.
No, well, yes, that's exactly what it is. That's where I was going.
That's pequeño, I think.
Syphilis, I believe. No, but it's like he understands his craft at such a deeper level than most people understand their crafts. Like he really does just get it on this like insanely deep level. We made this the headline, guys. I told you we were going to be coming in hot tonight. I actually don't think this is hot.
Question.
Do we have a great super chat question here? All right, I'll read. Can somebody read it? Oh, you have a mic? Oh, hell yeah, super producer Kale. Woo.
Can we talk about how Torrey Craig and every ex-Nugget
off the
seems to
mic
still have a great relationship with current guys?
Yeah.
There's something special about the culture and team built in Denver.
I do. I mean, obviously, I think
love
really
that super chat.
Yeah. Dev.
I mean, he was there last year. Like it hasn't been
recent.
that long, so it is pretty recent. But also, like it just goes to show you that these guys grew up together. And,
so true.
And they're around each other for so long. The NBA season is so long, so of course, there's camaraderie and things like that. Like if you think about it, you know, like you have a relationship with the players from like high school or something like that.
This team has a high school vibe.
And that's not even that long of a season, but to go on the road and to know these people's families and to travel and have the same type of bond, it's like it's going to be for like everlasting type of things. And Torrey Craig is a player that everyone seems to love. So
I was going to say that speaks a lot to Torrey Craig as well, because I do think he was like one guy that every single teammate just loved. But I think Dev's point is actually the best one. And not to take away, Danny, I think you're right that there's a great culture and vibe around the team. But I do think that will be tested over the years because, to your point, all of the key pieces did go through every step. And it's easy not to be jealous or confused about where you are in the pecking or just to care where you are when you're all coming through this together. Because, you know, there's a sort of natural settling as you go through it. But as you start to add new pieces to the roster, then that becomes a bit more complicated because it's like...
And you know what you have to do?
What?
You have to manage them like Michael Malone managed MPJ. You don't give people positions. You don't decide that they're going to be good because the team culture is important. And guys are human beings and they get mad. Like if somebody just comes into your job and they're like the new hot shit and you're like, man, where have you been?
Right.
You know, like you got to come in and you got to not just earn it in the eyes of Michael Malone. You got to win that locker room over. And like Michael Porter Jr. has gone off of the tower into the crashing rocks, turned the tower around, building it back up. Ariana, you're exactly right. And now we're seeing the fruits of the labor. And it's beautiful. That's why Michael Malone is such a great head coach. You can argue with his X's and O's, but you don't understand. Like so much of the game doesn't happen on the court, and this is
people don't understand. People don't understand that aspect. I think
no,
and it's the thing that I didn't understand this 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 5. It's like a process of the more information you get, and some of this is off-record stories, some of this is just being around the team or this or that. But the more you're around it, the more you realize. This is why I was talking with our good friend Ryan Blackburn, who I think is a fantastic analyst, and we were talking about whether or not they should run more. Like Michael Porter's been very involved early in games, less involved later. And I said, look, man, like I think when you run numbers on this or logically think about it, the answer is yeah, they probably should because he's so good and it's important. But I said there's a process to this of like he's just building trust right now. And it's hard to explain, but when you know, even for me, like even like play high school basketball, it's only 4 years, college it's only 4 years. NBA it's so much longer and those processes can be slower and this or that. And I just think that him, and I think he understands this. Right now, he's not going to get the touches he deserves, but in accepting that and working hard when he does get those touches, it's going to be more meaningful and a stronger foundation.
But what does deserves mean in that statement?
Like he's good enough. Like if you look at
But
if
he
you just
doesn't
look at
deserve
raw
it.
numbers and
That's
say
the
like,
point, though. He does not deserve it. He's got to
oh,
earn it.
sure, okay, sure. I
mean,
no, I'm with you.
That's
semantics.
I think that's an important distinction. That's the mindset change where it's like you come and you think you deserve shots. You don't deserve a goddamn thing in this league. Well, like why? Because you played 3 high school games and 3 college games. Like earn it, and he has done it, and it's so fantastic to see.
The oversimplified version of this is the wax on, wax off, where it's like, why do I have to do this?
Wax
you have
on,
to build.
Mike.
Because you have to. Well, he is. He's out
That's
here
what I'm
waxing
saying.
on,
He
waxing,
waxed.
and he's accepting that.
Byron coming in with a $50
Dude,
Oh, Byron is the best. What is it? Pair character riding a firework rocket, disappearing away before bursting in the sky. Oh my goodness, that's such a great one.
it's like poetry.
It is
when
like
you
poetry.
say it, especially.
Did you have something, Dev?
No. Byron stole the show again.
Yeah, he really
steals
always
the show.
does,
He
but
stole the show.
I
He's a
accept
good
it, man. Our guy Byron, man.
He's a part of the show.
He is a part of the show.
He's our guy.
Show doesn't start until a Byron super chat, as far as I'm concerned.
I put him somewhere above you guys, but below me in terms.
But you know what I like
personally,
now is that we can say definitive. We know that this show is worth $50. No one can take that from
That
us.
is true. All right, the headline of the show, guys. Something about Jokic being the best player in the world. I can't remember what it was, but something like that. First of all, let's play a little bit of a game of is he better than?
Ooh.
This
Oh,
feels
don't
like
make
the
it
answer is just yes. Brendan is on the Zooms, is over there. I guess he is. Don't even know who. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the 2-time MVP.
I'd have to see him head to head.
Let's get hot. Hot box and hot takes.
Thanks, bro.
Harrison,
I think yes.
I guess we should say if you have to build around one, like who you taking?
Yeah, I think yes. Look, Giannis is an incredible player. He had a great game tonight, 27 and 8. But
So
I mean,
measured.
his impact tonight paled in comparison to the impact Nikola Jokic had on this game. Nikola Jokic dominates every single aspect of a Nuggets game. He's involved in every single offensive play almost. He was part of a defense that held the Bucks to 97 points tonight too, the second best offense in the league. But how he impacts every single play is just at such a different level than Giannis, man. And you can take Giannis out of a game. Like, you can't take Jokic out of a game. You just can't.
Unless you're Michael Malone.
Yeah.
And you do it
Yes.
for 2 minutes.
Via substitution. That's it.
Yeah. Giannis is like how I was like on the 6 feet, 7 foot like rim in the backyard. And that player did not make it to the league, however. But really, like he's fun. He's fun. But he's not Nikola Jokic. Like Nikola Jokic really can dominate the game in so many ways. And with Giannis, there is a game plan to stop Giannis. There is a way to slow down Giannis if you have the personnel. There is no answer for Nikola Jokic. That's a guy that's on the court. You have to be wearing a black and white stripe to slow down Nikola Jokic. There's no other way to slow him down. He can score. He can pass. We clearly see he's a great defender. With the math, the NBA math, like he does everything on the basketball court. So it's an easy yes for me.
Oh, dude.
Nikola Jokic
yes.
Nikola Jokic is better than Giannis.
Dude, all Giannis is a former MVP. He's no Nikola Jokic.
He also plays in the freaking
Back-to-back.
East for
He's a
crying out
back-to-back
loud, who has like
MVP.
4 teams above 500.
He's a former back-to-back MVP.
Get outta
He's not
here.
Nikola Jokic. He's not on the same level as
He's
Nikola
not even
Jokic.
a former. He's
a reigning MVP.
MVP and defensive MVP.
Yeah, but he's not Nikola Jokic, is what I'm trying to say here. Sure, he has all of those accolades and whatever those are, but
But if you take away Giannis's athleticism, like
dude, he's terrible.
Yeah, he won't be able to do much.
I'd say
if you take away Nikola Jokic's athleticism, it's 2 years ago.
I told him,
he's good.
Hey.
Fine.
dude, I told
Dude,
Adam.
again, it wasn't quite catching a body tonight, but he had another dunk through traffic that's like, it's kind of becoming a thing with him. I know this sounds crazy, but he's dunking every game. He's going up for dunks that he never used to go for.
Poster dunks. That's the thing. He's going for
He's
it.
just going at the basket aggressively.
Yeah.
And like, it's wild, man.
Dude, I told Adam this and you sort of said the same thing, like that Giannis, the way he plays basketball reminds me of how your older brother plays against you on your
totally.
Wilson Stuffs hoop on the back of your,
totally,
the
yeah.
back of your door. Just run, just like slam it, and you're like, ooh, thank face. And
Somebody clipped that.
It is the face. I could go on. We're already. Can you guys believe we're 25 minutes into the show and we've only talked about Jokic?
Let's go for 2 hours tonight.
We might go a little long tonight. I'm just going to warn you. But let's take our first break. I could keep talking about Jokic for probably 4 more days straight. But we'll take our first break because we do have to talk about other very good players on the Denver Nuggets roster. And on my list, that includes everybody.
They're all good.
We also got to talk about the Mile High City Copper Lager from Breck Brew, the official beer of this show. A great option from Breck Brew. Pick it up at your local liquor store. I could go for one right now if somebody wants to grab me one. That'd be awesome. Mile High City Copper Lager, you can't miss it. It's in that Nuggets blue can. You can get it as part of the 15-can sampler from Breck Brew. You can get it just straight Mile High City Copper Lager 12-pack or whatever. So pick one up today. Also, guys, UFC 259 is this weekend and is sure to be action-packed with 3, thank you, Kale, title fights taking place in one night. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC, is putting you in the center of this weekend's title fight with 100-1 odds on either fighter to land a punch during the title fight.
I don't like them.
These are some decent odds, I think. Decent odds. So what you have to do is pick either main event fighter to land a single punch during this weekend's UFC 259 bout, and DraftKings Sportsbook will just give you 100-1 odds. So pretty easy money from DraftKings this weekend at UFC 259. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 if either main event fighter lands a punch on Saturday.
Lands a punch, huh?
One punch.
You know what? What was that?
Flying knee kick could be the one.
Was it what's his name?
Masvidal.
Masvidal, who had the one flying knee.
Yeah.
No punches landed.
As long as that doesn't happen.
What if it's like the last scene from the Karate Kid where one of them just sets up in the crane kick, kicks him right in the face, it's over.
Yeah, remember code DNVR to turn $1 into $100 if either fighter lands a punch. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only, new customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Here it is.
Can we talk about double doubles tonight and how Harrison just turned an ad read into a drink order and it worked?
That was great. Wow.
Unbelievable.
True double. All right, we have to go to Jamal Murray here next because Jokic outshined him tonight merely because Jokic looked like prime Michael Jordan. But Jamal Murray continues just to be insanely good at basketball. And tonight, I was surprised he's only 10 of 17 because I felt like he was almost better tonight. Gets 24 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. But I continue to just feel like Jamal Murray is there. I put this tweet out, and it was a little tongue-in-cheek, but it's also not that tongue-in-cheek. Bubble Murray?
Right.
That might be a step back from where he's been these last 11 games. These last 11 games
Bubble Murray didn't do it every game.
Yeah. I mean, and Bubble Murray did have, I think what was especially great about Bubble Murray.
Don't speak ill of Bubble Murray. It's the same guy.
No, I'm saying, and the Bubble Murray had 25 straight points, 5 times in the bubble. That's it was this incredible hot streak. But just the way he's playing tonight right now is so in control, confident, and aggressive without being. I don't feel like he's being a ball hog. I don't feel like he's pressing. He maximizes all of the possessions that he needs to, and it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and he's a top 5 defender in the league too. So he's got that going for him. No, I could not be more blown away by this run Jamal Murray's on. I mean, this is how clear this is the best he's ever played in the regular season. He's had 11 straight games of 20-plus points now. Yeah. His previous career high of 20 points in a certain amount of straight games was 6.
Jeez.
6. And he's at 11 right now. He's so efficient. He came into tonight leading the league in true shooting percentage over his last 10 games.
Wow.
He's been shooting 50% from 3. I know he had the bad night tonight from 3, but he's not overthinking it. He's not overthinking anything. He's just kind of moving and vibing and just taking what the defense gives him and not trying to press. He's just, like I said, not overthinking it. And that's something Jamal's talked about and why he thinks he didn't start off that great this season. He was overthinking it, and he's just playing now. He's just playing, and he's confident, and everything he does is smooth and decisive, and he's aggressive. And yeah, he's playing in control. He's playing within the offense too.
Yeah, he was out of shape early on. We were like, what's wrong with Murray? He was out of shape.
Yeah.
No, he's in shape. No, he's awesome.
A little banged up at a lot. Just didn't play.
I don't mean that in a way like get your shit together, Jamal. I mean like super short off season, incredibly strenuous trip through the bubble. Completely understand you need to turn off for some time. We said this, like they only had enough time to turn off, not turn back on. The NBA players, like, and you have to turn on, but he didn't cycle back on in time. But now he's in shape.
He's also great. 2 years younger than Jokic, and I feel like Jokic has learned these lessons too. I mean, I think this was part of Jokic's lesson last year. I think there was a level of.
You're right.
We talk about the Anthony Davis game on December 5th or 4th or whatever it was last year, where he started to like, okay, I got to start working out and started dropping weight quick. And I do think that was one of those ones where he was like, it's fine if I'm out of shape in December. It doesn't matter. And then he was like, okay, it does matter.
It was exactly how Nikola Jokic's season started off last year.
And I just feel like Murray's learning that lesson that Jokic learned last year, and he'll be better for it.
Yeah, the biggest thing about Murray right now is that he just looks comfortable. Like, that's the difference between now and before. He wasn't able to create any type of separation. He wasn't getting to his spots. Those shots that we typically see and we are seeing now fall weren't falling. He was not aggressive, not getting to the rim. Like, this is a game that you actually see that he got to the rim and got to his spots because he does not shoot the ball well. He makes 1 3-pointer in the game and he finishes with 24 points. That's finding a rhythm early. That's getting to your spots and just knowing that you're comfortable in your body and also with what the defense is just giving to you. And that's what we've been seeing with Jamal is he understands, like, he's been saying it. I feel like I can score at any point in time. Whenever I shoot the ball, I can score. And the best part about Murray right now is he's learned like his lessons of, okay, if I just keep pressing in different ways, or if I don't come into the season with this mentality or this mind frame, then I'm not going to be able to do this. So this is maybe the best thing that could have happened to Jamal because he's finding his ways in different ways than he's used to. He doesn't have to just score the ball every time to be effective. He's now, stepping up defensively. He's getting others involved, and he's also comfortable with, I don't have to be the main point guard every single time. I don't have to have the ball in my hands, and I think that's going a long way for the Nuggets.
It totally is. God, that's a great point, Dev.
Yeah.
What a great point. Should have you on the show every night.
Good job, you. We always move on to now the third member of the Big Three, Michael Porter. We talked a little bit about him before. Foul trouble kept him out of the game. He only gets 25 minutes tonight, but, he leads the team in three-point makes. He gets 3 threes. Nuggets made 11 as a team. He got 3 of those, goes 3 of 6. And, 11.7 rebounds only, gets 9 shots. But, again, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he had to sit for a while. But I still thought he played great, and I thought this was an extension of what we've seen from him, which is even when he's not getting the ball the amount that everybody wants to see him get it, it does not affect him in any way. And that just was not true 3 weeks ago. It's become more true with every game, and this is just another, like I said, another extension of that.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr., like, when you look at his game tonight, like, if we all, like, D-Line's a great person, but if we all attacked him right now, he would probably pee himself.
Debatable.
Yeah,
Michael Porter Jr.,
we see that most
he got
nights.
attacked tonight, and Giannis went at him very early on, and
Yeah.
we seen that there was nothing he could do with him. Instead of moping and feeling like he was going to have a down game, they took him off of him, and he was like, okay, I'll affect the game in different ways.
Right.
I'll still do what I have to do. He didn't just pee himself. So this is a game that Michael Porter Jr.
like that he pointed
every single time. It's him. This is a game that
this isn't a threat, right? Like, you're not
no. He still rebounded. He still tried to be a part of the offense. He still made rotations and got to his spots. There was a lot of times that early on he had defensive lapses, and there was nothing they could do. It's Giannis attacking every single time, and that's also him learning something at the 4, because those are the guys that he's going to have to go through when it's in the playoff time. But there's not many Giannis's in the league at the 4 spot. So this was
There's one.
This was a barometer.
There's actually 3, his 2 brothers.
No, there's Antetokounmpo. There's only one Giannis.
That's a great point.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
In your face, Win.
Yeah. Harrison's been awful so far today. Really, really bad.
But yeah, Michael Porter Jr., he responded in a great way and still played within the flow of the offense and still also hit his shots when he took them.
Will Barton tonight, I thought he had I thought this was a good game from him. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. That's what you need from him. And I just thought he had some timely buckets. Barton is a value add. Like, if you get good games from Jokic, Murray, and PJ, you're going to win most nights. And tonight was a great game from Jokic, a very good game from Jamal Murray, and a good game from Michael Porter. You probably just needed one other guy. They got like 7. But Will Barton tonight, I thought, had one of his better games in recent history.
I agree, man. I mean, how he filled up the box score, 8 rebounds, and Yoke barely got the 10 rebounds tonight. He got that last one right before he came out, clinched his 50th triple-double. But he was not at 10 because Barton had 8 of them, Porter had 7, Jamal Murray had 6, Will with 5 assists tonight as well. Look, like Will Barton, he's not as valuable to this team right now as he was last year.
Right.
Because they've got Porter, they've got Facu, who's another playmaker. Monte, his role has taken another leap this year. He's not as valuable as he was last year. I mean, he was Nuggets' 3rd best player last year. It's wild to think about.
Totally.
But when you get scoring like this, when you get playmaking like this from him, it shows how valuable he still can be.
Dude.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that, and this is something it's like difficult to take into account all the time, but Barton brought us through some of the darkest days as Nuggets fans.
Dude, it's so true.
He's been so incredible as a member of this team. And I get like his play is not like it falls off sometimes, but he also is capable of giving you this kind of performance. And he used to be the only thing good about the Denver Nuggets for like a while. And
his first year, he really
fun.
was the only thing that was
he
good.
was so
Nurkic
fun.
too.
He
like
went to
him
the
and Nurk.
dunk contest. He gave us like a little national recognition. Granted, he like kind of embarrassed himself and us.
And us, yeah.
But
It wasn't the best
all the
ever.
same, like no one even thought about Denver. And you know, it was so. Maybe we're like I always give a pass.
You're not going to
Thrill
talk
for this,
people.
but
They're not going to talk.
But
to
like you got to understand, man. Thrill is royalty.
They just have hatred, and it's going to happen. But he gets 2 threes tonight that I thought both were important. Monte Morris, he didn't hit my bet. I led you guys astray. I thought he was going to get 11.5 points. He ends with 10. He goes 0 for 2 from 3. I thought he was going to make 2 of them. But he was still solid tonight. I want to move on though to PJ Dozier, who tonight. PJ Dozier's a mixed bag for me because I think he's really good. But I think he has a little Barton syndrome in him as well, in that he's about 80% as good as he thinks he is. And if he played to the level of what I think he should be, he would be 120% of what he is. Yeah. It's like a weird paradox where less is more for him. And tonight, he gets 17 shots, which I believe is the second most shots of anybody on the entire team.
The second with Jamal Murray, yeah.
What is that?
You guys apparently took your second shot.
Did you?
I don't know. This is
we have our
the second shot is the winner shot.
The winner shot. Did you not take your winner shot?
I don't know. I'm being yelled at in the chat.
He took the winner shot.
did it in the wrong order.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Savelli.
Givelli.
This one is juice. Oh, made a little stiff for a Tuesday there, Megan.
It's so funny watching all of you do this shot one and Eric have to do rap.
Yeah, that was Robitussin. I know.
That did taste like
feel better.
Robitussin. But PJ Dozier tonight, I thought he was a team high plus 28. He provides a skill set. I think when we talk about Barton, he has been the 3rd best player for stretches for the Nuggets, and that's like a big role. I do feel like he's in a contract year that the best Barton is a reduced Barton, and that's a really tough pill to swallow. With PJ Dozier, it's kind of opposite. He just got his contract. He's trying to make a name. His career is still starting, and I feel like he's like, I can be more, but this team needs him to be less. Nonetheless, tonight he's a plus 28, gets 19 points. Only his second game back.
Yeah, but tonight he was the greatest.
Well, 19 points on 17 shots is still like pushing the efficiency, but by no means a bad game. What I'm really pointing to here is at the start of the 4th quarter, Denver's up 20 points. That second unit came in to start the 4th and decided to make this a track meet, which is the dumbest thing you could do. Like, you're up 20 and you play slow. The other team has to shoot like 90% to catch up to you. If you go out there and you're turning it over and you're shooting early shot clock shots, teams can come back on you quick, and that's exactly what happened. That 20-point lead going into the 4th was down to where it got uncomfortable, and Jokic had to come in with 9 minutes and 38 seconds left on the 4th quarter clock, and you're thinking like, would have loved to have bought him 2 more minutes on the bench. So there's a little give and take with Dozier tonight, but it's mostly.
I'm actually impressed that Dozier got 17 shots up.
Isn't it wild?
Well, he shot like 5 in a row.
Yeah,
he was in there at the end too in garbage time.
It was in garbage time, and I was like, oh, come on, dude, let Greg shoot. Gee whiz, let Bull shoot, and then he just kept making it. I was like, just shoot it. He's awesome.
I mean, to be fair, he's probably going to play more than Greg or Bull, so like getting him back in a rhythm is good. But I do just think it's interesting, and it's interesting contrasting him to Campazzo, because when Campazzo was playing well, we were thinking like, oh, okay, who's the guy cut out? Is it Dozier's cut out? Then you watch Dozier play well and fill a more versatile role because he's so long.
Nugget's good.
The guy getting cut out might be a guy who's injured right now. I should
Gary?
say. No, I mean maybe not Gary.
Can you want to just go ahead and say it, or do we play password?
Does
he have dark hair?
It has to be Paul Millsap.
Is he tall?
Maybe Paul. I don't know.
Is Vold's dad? Vold's dad is out of there.
He didn't want to speak ill of dad. I understand.
Actually, we didn't talk about this with Michael Porter, but I'm telling you, the power. Another one?
We got to read it out.
Oh, we got a super chat here, Kel.
Oh, he's not paying. Yeah, we got it. Well,
just another Byron.
Yeah,
Giant. Don't ever downplay a Byron. Don't
First
ever
of all, Byron's is hooking it up over here.
But can you read it at him?
Giant pair character waving flags and
turning around, making the buildings in front of him tremble.
Yes,
I love this one. I like this guy. Yeah, he's a good.
Byron,
that's a good pair.
Who knows you better than, or who knows us better than you?
Yeah, nobody.
That's exactly how you describe.
But Michael Porter, to your point, Michael Porter at power forward is just like one of the keys to unlocking Denver, and perhaps it's a thing that teams haven't scouted this new version of Denver, and as they adjust, whatever. But maybe it is just that they need to find this. And to your point, JaMychal Green, Paul Millsap, both power forwards. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're out the rotation, or
you just
centers,
need a trade.
Or you need a trade, or what have you. So really something there. Vlatko Cancar, we talked a little bit about tonight, plus 22, only 4 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. I'll go ahead and say it. At the moment, I feel fine with Vlatko out there. Paul Millsap's out, JaMychal Green's out. I don't mind. Like, he does a very good job of filling in, and sure. I don't feel like he costs you anything.
This is what we talked about after the 7 game against the Jazz. If Vlatko has to be out there and you're banged up and he's got to be like your 8th guy, he can be that guy.
Totally.
Like, he can hold his weight. Yeah. And how about that pass he had tonight, man?
Oh, that pass was wild. That was
Where'd that
a
pass
moment.
come
the
from?
slinger?
The slinger.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
The slinger.
Do you think Jokic will talk about it in the press, like the post game?
Maybe
he has to bring it up.
Maybe
he has to bring it up.
A little this Balkan training, man. They work on the slinger. They don't do that here in fundamental triple threat.
We don't do
whatever,
anything right anymore.
We really don't.
This country lost its way.
Yeah, we lost its way.
You guys want to make king of the game real quick?
Who was it?
Talk about it. Who is
we
it?
We didn't vote on it. Is it a tiny king? No, it's a giant king. 37, 10, and 11.
It's the
just
king of
casually going 1-on-3.
When was Michael Porter was the king of the game the other day when Jokic had like the same stat line?
Look at that goddamn photo. There's only one blue jersey in it, and there are 5 people in the photo.
Well, one of them is
he scored.
One of them is not a real person, because I know that DJ Wilson guy does not exist.
He got you to the shadow realm.
This is a hologram.
That is a zombie.
It's a hologram like they did with Tupac.
It's a hologram. Wow, it's a Tupac hologram. DJ Wilson. And then Zeke Naji tonight got 13 or 16 minutes. He goes 3 of 4 from the field, grabs 4 rebounds. He was involved in one of the best sequences of the game. Was it at the end of the third quarter? And this was sneaky big. Like, I know it sounds weird, but the difference between, I think it was 17 and 19 points, and not nothing, and just to close out a quarter with a rebound putback was just one of those ones that's, when you know this when you're watching the team, when you're down big, you're like, let's just try to keep this as tight as possible. When they score at the last second, you're like, it was like it was bad and it just got worse. It's like when you're down and you get kicked while you're down. That's what that was. I thought Zeke was very good tonight, very reliable.
I just love the fact that Zeke is getting minutes. Not in the G League. Like, he gets to see like the speed. He gets to see like he has to get better at a lot of things, but he's actually learning on the fly instead of a full year where he's on the bench, because, you know, if they don't renew JaMychal, or if they like choose to go Paul Millsap, it seems like he's on his way out. Or I'm not saying that, but it just looks like it with Michael Porter pushing over to the 4. Then, you know, you got to have Zeke Naji. That's like a player that you're going to have for the future. So why not get him some minutes now just to learn?
This is when we were doing, because we're going to go to break here again if you want to cue it up, Harrison. But we asked if Jokic is better than Giannis. This is not for everybody, because most people don't watch hockey that are tuning into this. But we've kind of all, as a company, talked about Nathan MacKinnon as the clear best player in Colorado sports or what have you. And I think Nathan MacKinnon's incredible.
No, so do I.
But like Jokic is also incredible, and I think there's a chance that that they're both the best player in their respective sports, which would be insane. Wild. I don't know if Denver's ever
they're both 20. I mean, how old McKinnon? Jokic is 26. McKinnon's 25.
Do you know what it reminds you of, though, is that good things happen to good people. And who does good people? Us.
I'm just saying that McKinnon was like the clear, like, okay, like Jokic is really good, but basketball, it's hard to be the best, and this and that. And McKinnon's already
we just went through the Goaties where it was like exhausting, and we had to seed that Andre Burakovsky is going to be more impactful in the Colorado sports scene than Michael Porter Jr. Due to some ridiculous whatever. Anyway, but the point being is that we have so many just transcendent athletes in the state. We've just shipped one out, and it's like still okay. We still have some left in the tank.
Yeah, it's incredible. All right, let's hit a break. Yeah, but Vote says that Jokic still hasn't talked. Jokic cares not for our post-game show.
I know.
It's got to get that lift.
Dude, what if we did a weightlifting session?
In between, we all had one.
Show,
I would be so
during
about
the second.
that,
Our second
curls.
break is actually a weightlifting.
Yeah, so he does it with us,
Jokic
and then that gives
workout.
us time.
Yeah.
He also does the interview during that time.
Like a shake weight?
I'd be down for a shake weight.
Who do you think deadlifts more, the four of us or Jokic combined?
Jokic, maybe.
Well, let's do a little math. I can contribute 35 to 40 pounds.
Okay.
It's like a cat. It's like Garfield.
I do love lasagna.
All right, guys, make sure to check out MSU Denver online, no matter what type of student you are. If you're a first-time freshman going to college for the first time, or if you're looking to finish up your degree or go back to school, get a second degree, MSU Denver Online is an awesome option. You can see their entire course list at msudenver.edu/online. They have awesome teachers there who have been teaching online forever and know how to teach online. So, like I said, no matter what type of student you are, it's a great option. They can work with you around your schedule if you're working a job on the side. Check out their entire course list at MSU Denver Online. Also, the Colorado XOs are currently 1-0, and Rugby Town USA is excited to introduce you to our new rugby venture and team, the Colorado XOs. They are athletes who have competed at the highest levels of their respective sports.
This is an interesting thing
Do you understand Adam explained this to me, and I cannot believe, as somebody who literally works in branding, I didn't get this. XO means crossovers. They're crossing over from one sport to another.
Yeah.
And kissing. They're also kissing.
They're kissing. But you don't understand. That is literally my job. You
kissing?
You play your cards right here.
Oh, man. Yeah, but like D-Line was saying, these athletes, they come from backgrounds in football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, soccer, and track and field. They possess all the necessary skills to excel at the game of rugby. Many of these guys you may never have heard of. Taniela Tupou, former Seahawk, Falcon,
former Seahawk,
and also
Falcon.
Played for the Arizona Cardinals.
He did. Yep, in 2017.
That's exactly right.
Adam's just a huge sports guy.
Yeah, just a sports almanac.
He's like an almanac over here. He's like,
Wow.
Yeah, but pretty much, Rugby Town USA places these athletes in full-time rugby training environment to expedite their development and inject the United States national team with elite talent to help them compete on the global stage. The first two matches scheduled will be live streamed on April 3rd and 10th, so mark your calendars for that. It's Colorado XOs.
I want them
Colorado crossovers.
I want them to do this with football, with the beautiful game as it's known, soccer. I want the U.S. to start pouring elite athletes into soccer. It sucks when we get blasted in the World Cup all the time. Like our soccer sucks.
Isn't the score only 2-0? And
That's
our
true.
women's soccer is good. I'm sorry. Thank you, KO. I didn't know. I'm talking about the guys. Listen.
It would be cool if we were good at soccer. But you know what? I only watch during the World Cup. I don't care. I think the rest of the world finds it absurd that the U.S. is like...
Soccer, dude, the World Cup is great. I love it.
It is great. March Madness coming up. We're in a great sports moment in time here. So while we wait for Jokic/vote, we can look ahead. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Let me look at the schedule here because I've already forgotten who the Nuggets play here in
Indiana.
2 days. Who is it? Indiana.
Yes.
Ooh, I like this one. Yeah, Indiana, because Indiana for one is kind of reeling. They started so hot and they have been really bad lately. But what I like about it is, this is a matchup against a team that kind of was for at least a while the Nuggets of the East. I feel like that maybe is inappropriate anymore, but you get a pair of good bigs in Sabonis and Miles Turner. But rather than necessarily preview that game, the Nuggets are sitting at 20-15. 20-16 is not bad, especially where we thought we were, when all these injuries happened and how the season was going. They've really got some great vibes going into the break. But 21-15 is actually a good record. And there's a chance that if you are 20, right now Denver is tied with the 5th, 6th, and 7th seed, everybody with the 7 games back of the lead. you get a win, there's a chance you move all the way up to 5th going into the All-Star break, right when you start to get everybody back. I feel like that's a huge win.
Totally. Absolutely. Part of me's nervous about what bringing all these guys back after the All-Star break means for the rotation and means for the vibes that this team currently has right now. So we'll see on that. But, I mean, from where this team was 2 weeks ago to potentially go into the break with a 4-game winning streak would be unbelievable. It would be unbelievable. And the other thing is the Nuggets go into the break with that record, potentially 21-15. Look, they've got 4 less losses than the Lakers, 4 less losses than the Clippers. If Denver keeps creeping up, I mean, you're not going to be able to use the argument that Denver doesn't have enough wins for Nikola Jokic to win the MVP. That argument's going to be out the window.
I hope that Adam's ears are burning.
I'll take it. I will gladly take the shame. In fact, I already deserve it. But I will gladly take it.
By the way, Jokic for MVP. Get the shirt.
JokicForMVP.com.
JokicForMVP.com. It's a fundraiser, nonprofit, 100%. This is a free promo for these guys.
They didn't pay for this. They didn't pay for this.
I just love, and Dev's wearing it. It's just such a great cause, and it's a great shirt.
Yeah. We were all wearing them the last time, I don't know if you cut that, but
Tri-blend. Right?
I would describe it as the Wagyu of shirts.
Oh, God.
Wow, well marbled.
It's all about the marble.
It's about the marbling.
It is. I mean, there is something to it. Look, like the Jokic for MVP case has really picked up steam ever since I bought out my bet here. And I don't want to say it's all my, credit to me. Like, I don't want to say all of that.
We just had to dump the anchor and this rocket ship could take off.
That's so true. You dumped the anchor and it really went, man. Like, you're so true. But I mean, look, man, he's playing it's undeniable. It's undeniable. He has as many 40-point games as Embiid, who everybody's talking about how great Embiid. Like he's scoring with the best of them. He's passing with the best.
You know what's going to be amazing is you're going to find the boundaries of that word undeniable, because there's still going to be so many people that deny it, and you're like, what? What are you talking about, dude?
Dude, I'm telling you. I still listen to some of the podcasts and they're like, well, it just doesn't contribute to winning is the thing. And I'm
how about those Knicks?
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, though, about the team coming back just quickly, I'm sorry. The vibes are, this is a 1-game vibe that we just got. This is like the 7. Like, this is a signature win with a lineup that played together for the first time, and it just clicked, and we just killed them.
I don't think so.
We just had people coming back in different roles, different capacities. It's just like, I'm saying, like,
the vibe's have been great, though, for these last couple.
But this is the win of the season.
Sure. Oh, definitely.
This is the signature of the season to this point. And I'm saying, like, this to me represents, like, the greatest ideal of the Nuggets, but like the meat of the Nuggets is still those players that are out. Like, it's not going to ruin the vibe for the starters, the rightful starters, to come back and like just because they've already been on a big winning streak. It was when Gary Harris got hurt, other people got hurt, that it halted abruptly. And like this, now they've just found their rhythm. But this isn't the best form of the Nuggets.
The best form of the Nuggets, I think, definitely involves Gary Harris in some capacity. I think,
I agree.
And then you have JaMychal Green and Paul Millsap coming back. I think I'm with you, Wind. I think you might need one of those, not two of them.
Yeah, I mean, because I think Zeke Naji should play.
You think Zeke is the next one?
No, I think he should definitely be in the rotation.
This sucks, man.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, you've got Michael Porter power forward minutes. You've got JaMychal Green power forward minutes. You've got Jokic center minutes. Yeah. So Zeke is the fourth guy?
One of my worries is that the Michael Porter minutes have been an absolute result of the injuries that have happened. And when the Nuggets are healthy, he's by default just going to slide back into a full-time small forward.
Yeah.
That's my read on it. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my read on it.
I mean, it was working earlier.
It's kind of funny that the Nuggets stacked up on guards and power forwards because they were like, we need to clear the way for Michael Porter. And now it's like, you should have stacked it with small forward. kept it open so he could have played the power forward spot. Yeah.
Harrison, that was declared the Wagyu of takes.
The Wagyu of takes.
That take, it was all about the marbling.
It was marbled. I know. I mean, it would be funny a JaMychal Green for Torrey Craig trade. Like, who says no? Torrey Craig's not even playing that much minutes. But what do you think, Dev? Who's out of the rotation fully healthy in your mind? That's kind of on the fringe.
The same one that wasn't in the rotation when those guys were back. I just don't think that you're gonna. Zeke Najee's going to go back to the bench.
But even Dozier and Campazzo, like there's probably only room for one of those guys.
Well, I mean, it sucks to say and it's scary to say, but the Nuggets have been looking great, like as of late, or pretty good as of late, and they haven't had Campazzo.
Yeah.
So like they're going to look at it and say, okay, Campazzo hasn't been there, but you know that the Nuggets are better when they have JaMychal Green, and also we know that Paul Millsap gives the Nuggets the ability to not have to play Vlatko at those minutes because he could actually match up with the other team's fours and five like spots at times. So I think that those guys are going to be better because they are better players as of right now. So that pushes Zeke and Facu back to the bench.
Dude, I love that like the NBA season goes between Tim Conley's a moron to we have too many good players. Like you can't get rid of these players. They're too good. Everybody, it's time to get upvoted. I'm out of here.
It's time to get upvoted. Let's get upvoted, baby. To your point, though, it does feel like everybody's coming back. Okay, that was Zeke Najee's chance, and now it's right. This was the first half. The second half probably goes like the first half did, which means it's not going to be right after the All-Star break. But at some point, somebody's probably out for whatever reason, and he steps right in. Are you pouring yourself a rakia?
Were you just sipping that bottle this whole time?
On the media call? No.
This does look like a low point in life where you're pouring shots into a little plastic cup.
We just need a paper
like,
bag.
This was me anticipating the loss tonight.
So
down on his luck.
Vote, and he comes in with
Yeah. All right, let's see
bottle.
it because we're waiting with bated breath. Is that the thing? Is that how you say that?
Waiting on baby.
We're waiting on.
Waited with, I think, is
With-
is the correct
We don't know what the
phrasing.
saying is, but
Good
there's a
stalling,
saying.
though. That was
I think
good.
I'm trying to.
So Michael Malone, guy's in a great mood tonight, as you could have
that right?
expected.
Is it because we didn't even mention this, guys? We didn't even.
Oh, it
Can
is
you guys,
on. That is wild.
What is wrong? It's waiting on bated breath.
No,
I think it's
with
Oh, it's gonna be
whatever.
either one.
We'll
so there's
figure it
one
out
that's
later,
correct
guys.
and one that's hyper correct. I like it. Like everything I say is hyper correct. It's also wrong. Everything I say is also wrong, but it's also hyper correct. We didn't even mention this, guys. A munder. Did you just held a historically great offense to a munder?
the
Is that
second
right?
best offense in
Well,
the league.
believe it or not, Adam, Malone mentioned it right away. Quote, I believe that was only the third time all season the Bucks have held below 100 points.
Wow.
Do you know how much we'd lose our mind if Malone ever said munder?
And I know he knows about
You
it.
think?
He's secretly online. That's
Yeah,
my
he is
take.
secretly
He
online.
said the Nuggets, these guys,
He's the downvoter.
they understand when we defend, you're going to give yourself a chance against any really good team. Then he spent really the rest of his presser lauding the approach of Murray and Jokic over the last 12 games, really the whole season for Jokic. He just talked about their focus, called Jokic laser focused, that these guys have been really present, leading by example no matter what's gone on. And he really spent most of his time lauding the approach of his stars.
That's what we spent most of the time on this podcast doing. So
Yeah, we spent a good 30 minutes
Yeah.
on Jokic this one. It was quite amazing.
Jamal Murray had some good insights tonight. When asked for the key to what's going well right now, he said, quote, "We're having fun with it. Guys that are out are cheering us on. And I just think having fun is the key to success for us right now." And so he talked about Jokic throwing it down, which he joked that the team expects at this point. Facundo Campazzo almost dunking. Like Gary had the camera on the sideline tonight.
Yeah.
We talk so much about the vibes tongue-in-cheek on this show, but that's kind of what Murray was getting at. I think the vibes are good on the team right now, and they're back to playing loose and having fun, and you're seeing the results.
Yeah. I think that's a really important point, though. And the fun, you can't force fun. Like,
Right.
nobody can be like, let's just have fun now, we're all miserable. Like, but there is just, I mean, that is part of it, is when you, I don't know what's the chicken and what's the egg to the fun. Is the winning producing the fun producing the winning? A question for the philosophers.
Apparently, Jokic is going. Our PR guy prematurely ended the session, so Jokic is speaking right now. But I guess we'll just have to take that L.
No.
We also spoke with Will Barton III, who, I'll be honest, guys, bit of a despondent energy from Will right now. Just a little
He
bit.
had a good game. I wonder why.
Yeah. So, Murray, Mike Singer asked him about those fun comments from Murray. Will simply said, if that's what Murray says, then that's what's going on. That was kind of a weird answer. I asked him about finishing around the rim and if he's feeling more comfortable in that space lately. And he kind of rambled a bit. It was a bit hard to hear him, but he said something along the lines of, I'm just trying to be myself, not just fit in, but be me. Remember last season he had that quote, don't fit in, stand out, right? So it was just something like he doesn't just want to be a quiet piece and a role player right now. I think Will Barton views himself as an impact player, and he wants to get back to that place. To that point, Matt Moore asked him about what he's going to do with his All-Star break, and Will said he's going to work out. Quote, I got some work to do. It won't be much fun for me, end quote. So
He wants it. And this is why, I mean, people have to hand him, even if you hate him, you have to hand him the pieces that you can respect. Like, you can break a person down piece by piece and look at the parts that you really respect about him. He wants it. It's funny you say this, Vote, because we spent a good portion of the show talking about Barton and how it's a bit of a transition year for him. And it's tough because it's also a contract year.
Right.
But the Nuggets need a little bit less from him than what they have needed in years past. It's like, rather than have, this big role that he does really well, he needs to have a smaller role that he does really well.
Right.
And I don't know that necessarily he wants that, but nights like tonight, like Denver had 127 points against the Bucks. Did they need another 6 points from Will? Did they need another 5? Like, probably not.
But you go back to that last game, he had 15, 6, and 5 alongside the big three playing well. So look, when the ball's just moving, and it's not one guy deciding, hey, it's my time now, everyone can eat. But
tonight he had 14, 8, and 5, which is almost the exact same thing. That's the thing.
Right. So, he's playing well, but this is something to navigate. Like, this is not, even though I've called him a role player many times, that's not how Barton views himself.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot of Barton being just really frustrated at how his year has gone.
Yeah.
I just think he's really down. You can even see it, like, with his body language on the court, how he is with the media. He's usually a super positive guy. And I've just sensed that he's just kind of feeling down about how his season's gone.
Yeah, well, the rough part about it is that, there's not really much of a change that's coming for Barton's role because, there's still now they have Jokic, Jamal Murray, which he already had to play like second fiddle to. But now they have Michael Porter Jr., who's the future of the Nuggets. So he's going to have to be in that role. And if he can't accept that, then he just has to maybe find a different place or really just like understand that you must star in this role and there's nothing else you can do.
I don't think people also – this is another thing I've learned from being around professional athletes, and this is, again, part of the Kobe mentality or this or that, but confidence is such a thing that the average person doesn't understand the confidence that a professional athlete has. And some of it is irrational confidence, but a lot of it is this like very specific type of you build yourself up over years so that you're just mentally tough through that confidence. And I think for a guy like the hardest thing for a player to do is to both be confident but also stay within themselves, because often those two things are moving in opposite directions. And Will Barton maybe doesn't always do the best of that, and that's why those comments are not concerning, but that's the needle he has to thread, is both get his confidence level up to here while also understanding that, hey, man, you're the fourth option on this team now. Maybe sometimes fifth, sometimes, whatever. So it's tough. It's a really tough balance.
And you just get us back into the positivity. Yeah. I know there's some fire that's coming.
We spoke with Vlatko Cancar today, who
love it.
began his media availability by apologizing for being late, which is perfect because he wasn't late at all. Like the second, like literally before Will Barton exited frame, Vlatko had sat down.
Oh, I love it.
Just an absolute hero in my eyes.
God, I love Vlatko.
He was asked about his flashy transition pass, which, by the way, I hope you guys reacted to.
We did talk about it. Of course we talked about it.
And he was not so quick to praise himself for that pass. He said it easily could have gone awry. My favorite quote of the night, it's either you're a hero or you're a loser. I guess I was a hero.
Wow. That's your only two options in life.
Those are your only options.
He's so great.
As far as his approach on the court, he said, quote, I'm just trying to make the least mistakes on the floor. It's all about helping the team win, the small things that coach needs from me. Yeah, remember, we once asked Vlatko what he's aiming for in the NBA, and he said, like, to be the 10th guy off the bench. He's the only person I've ever heard give that answer. And finally, more praise for Jokic, and just in terms of the habit building. And Vlatko just tripled down on this notion that, like, especially this year of all years, guys, where focus is probably one of the harder things to maintain for an athlete. Jokic is laser focused. He is dialed in, and he's leading by example, and that was just the theme of the presser.
I'll share with you a text I got while we were recording this very show, you guys, from somebody on the Nuggets coaching staff. Allegedly, Jokic has not missed a single post-game workout in over 2 years.
I reported that earlier this season. Yeah.
But that was a month ago.
Right.
That's another month. You said 1 year and 11 months. It's now been 2 years.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And the wildest thing is how often they're playing. So that's insane to think about.
And the load he's carrying. I mean, this dude's got to be exhausted after every game.
80 minutes in 25 hours, and he's like, well, you got to get my workout in.
It's unbelievable.
We spent a lot of time trying to figure out like what motivates him and all this stuff, and I just think how he expresses himself is what's different. But I actually think he does tick the same way a lot of these clocks do in terms of the tier 1 superstars. He cares about this. He wants this far more than people like even us ever gave him credit for. And this season is not an accident. It's the result of years of hard work.
God, I love it. Vlatko, too. Love the dude. We keep talking about Zeke, and it is funny because I think Zeke, look, we just view him more as the future. He's a little younger. Like, his skill set is maybe more, you see it pops and stuff. But, 2 good games in a row for Vlatko. Isaiah Hartenstein, maybe Vlatko's the backup center. I don't know. We'll see.
One note that I'm going to have to triple check this, but I'm 95% sure I have this right. Jokic recorded his first ever triple-double against Milwaukee, correct?
Hey,
and he just recorded his 50th tonight, and somewhere between, he set the record for fastest ever triple-double recorded in Milwaukee.
Right.
You guys, the Bucks are officially a Jokic goes-off opponent.
Oh, I love it. That's right.
I think you're right about that. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm not going to say who it was, but there was. I won't even say it.
What?
I had some shade for a reporter in Milwaukee, but I'm not going to do it. It's in bad taste.
Don't do it.
It's in
Don't
bad
do it.
taste.
That's it. That's
That's
all I
it?
got.
There's nothing else?
No, I think
What
Jokic
did
is
Jokic
talking
say?
right now.
Oh, he didn't talk to him?
We were told that the session was over, and then I just checked my phone and found out the session's not over.
But what did he say when it was happening?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I think he is talking now or has not yet talked.
Was I unclear, or is Adam just being Adam?
I thought he talked for a portion, and then it ended, and you guys were like,
I don't
it's
know,
over.
man. Check Mike Singer's Twitter. That's all I
All
got
right.
for
Well,
you.
there you go. I don't like ending a party. This is like a party that if we had 2 more hours, I'd keep going.
I got a
But
shot to take.
We've got Rakia. We
got Rakia.
Nuggets win.
yeah, but I got to get home. I still got another show to do, so I got nothing but work ahead of me. You've got nothing but work ahead of you.
Right.
You've got grades to do, and you just get to hang out and live your best.
Don't do that. Make me seem cool. Just try it one more time.
Dev's gonna go play Warzone.
Just try it one more time.
And I'm off on Thursday, so it's 14 days before my next post game.
Wow.
That's a long time.
There was a little bit of winter shot still in that shot glass.
Oh,
that
I really
poured
mixed
the rock
it in a bad way.
Oh.
Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget, you guys, tomorrow I'm going to have a notebook episode on the DNVR Nuggets podcast. It's not going to be here on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube watcher and you enjoy watching the Nuggets, you want to get some detailed, deep dive notes on the game, you want to subscribe on your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you get your podcast so you don't miss a single episode. And that's it. We're out of here. We out of here.
Go Nugs, baby.
Get out of here.
Nuggets.